Hello. Hello to the people. Again, apparently some stuff happened while I was napping. What happened is we have the president with the world record number of assassination attempts, apparently. Gosh, I wonder if anyone is like spreading rhetoric that encourages this, or if it's just random with no cause whatsoever. Okay, so I logged a bunch of these while I was napping, and we got logs, but my print wasn't good enough. So we need to do this and rebuild, but we'll just do a debug build and we at least know the levels in question where this happens. It happens more than I would have thought. But not that much. Well, I don't know. Hard to say. Is it a lot? Is it not a lot? This is the first N of them. But like we're not that far through the log, I guess, is my concern. So maybe there are a lot, but maybe if I had printed them out correctly, maybe I'm just going to print them out. Let's see. Maybe we'll handle a couple and do another Benny test, right? So for 1/9 of the test, we had this many. I mean, so Swap Whiz is definitely Wizard Teleport. Magnitudes. Hmm. I feel like most of these are going to be something simple. So let's see. This is going to be Mirror Teleport. On move info yours, teleport. Move info theirs is falling. Okay. So what do we do in that case? Do we just allow it and then stop the falling move? Okay, let's see some other one. Okay, so this one is falling. This is also going to be falling. I maybe want... Yeah, this is also falling. We won't... Lily Pull intro is going to be skipping, right? But we already have skipping. Don't we? Oh no, this is falling as well. Right, falling. Bridgie. Bridgie's going to be falling. Skipping near beams is not going to be falling. So what do we do when it is falling? I feel like we do something to handle it. Is it V2? V2.
This is looking a bit more like home for once.
This guy is hated in our country? Well, no. I mean, the majority of the country voted for him.
Somewhat like the archipelago where we started.
Right? So he's hated by a subset of people in America. Which, you know, you're not supposed to let a minority group do terror. That's how things are. You're not supposed to put up with that. Okay, so move info yours. Printed move info theirs. Move info theirs is controller proc. Okay, that's definitely a different one. That's a Lily teleport moving us. Yeah. So let's let's run in the debugger. I could have attached, but I'm too lazy. Right now he's kind of annoying the rest of the world. Really? According to who? What rest of the world are we talking about? Okay. All right, so we're going to go into
appreciate his good work.
resolve.
I know I wouldn't mind being
We're going to
told that
go
myself.
So if a stone is skipping and it decides to teleport, we just delete the conflict, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so we're going to see what happens. So we come here, we detect the conflict, we decide to ignore it, which is why we never see the cowabunga. We close the transaction. Does something happen in close? You can delete this overworld reset code. That's old. Single moves 1. Oh, because the conflict is with a different transaction. So this one is the one that was already there, probably, right? It's closed. It has a single move. This is going to be the falling, all right? So let's just see if we skip past this, if it does anything to that. Yes. It removes that falling move. Okay, hold on. Let's go there again. So when we close, okay, well, we'll
Next
do
time
that
I see
again.
him, I'll just tell.
We'll set a data breakpoint, my favorite thing to do. My favorite. One D08 DED8. Okay. Remove single. Because we are remove completed linear moves or uncompleted falls or skips. So if it's falling or skipping, so this is in flush added moves. Right, so if we push, pull, teleport, or linear interpolation, the fuck are these? I don't even remember that. Okay. So basically, for some classes of move, all right. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to validate that this works, or that this always does. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. If TT is equal to falling, do nothing. This falling move will do nothing but resolve this function by it's in. Maybe we should resolve it here, huh? I don't know. I think that code predates this code. Okay, so if it's falling, so okay. So linear move, controller proc. So that'll make it easier to read. We definitely have this controller proc issue. Do we have a controller proc? So if it's stationary or it's in the skipping transaction. So that, like, if we're riding the Lily and we teleport, that's probably not handled cleanly right now. So we're going to let the error message fire for that and any other cases. So here, what about support? I feel like support. I don't know. Remove support moves. Remove support moves. That's in close as well, right? All right, let's try that. Linear move. Linear, it's in linear interpolation. Linear interpolation is for rovers and is it called elevator? Okay. Linear interpolation is for rovers and they move in a bursty way, so just resolve the conflict and go. Okay. So let's at least, before we run the Benny test and do the big compile, let's just see how the behavior feels in this level. Did they fix the out of scope copy modifier in the watch? I have no idea what bug you are mentioning. Okay, that seems acceptable. I mean, yeah, that seems fine. Seems fine. I mean, we have this unable to find manipulator error that we could deal with at some point. Was there a point where there has been a complexity in your program game that you didn't foresee? Yeah, all the time. And made it extremely hard to recover from / kill this program game. No, it's never been so bad that it killed a project, but in part that's because I have a lot of experience and I don't give up. There have definitely been situations that came up that were just gnarly complicated and where I was scared of the code and where I didn't understand what it was doing. But you just go back to those and you rewrite them. Usually, there has never been a time when I couldn't do it better. Have we written 100% of gameplay for this, like on The Witness? We're not at 100%, but we're at like 99.5%. We're pretty close to done with game design. Like that day with the problem with the memory on the compiler. I don't remember what day you mean, but certainly on the compiler, there have been multiple things where I was scared of the code and didn't know what to do. How not to give up? Well, you just need to have it in your personality that you don't give up. Like, I don't know what else to say about that. I don't know. All right, we're going to run another Benny test. And we'll just hang out and chat while that's going. As soon as we make sure it's launched okay. This is an old window we don't need. Don't know why it's taking so long. I can do this. All right. Very loud. Sorry, it's muted for me, but not for the. Do we have a CI system where the tests don't succeed, it fails to build? No, because not all the tests pass, generally. We do make sure the game starts up, but if you fail the build every time anything in data in the game breaks, you won't be able to develop a game. So there's a fine line you have to walk where if anything is disruptive, you want that reported immediately, but otherwise you just want to keep an eye on things. No, you just wouldn't want to fail a build in those circumstances. I guess we'll do a card. Or actually, there's the game that Notch was recommending. Let's download that. We might play that tonight. Modulus Factory Automation. What is the deluxe upgrade pack? Modulus Academy. If you want me to buy the upgrade pack, tell me what's in it. Bundle info. Deluxe upgrade pack. New cosmetics and color variations. Well, if those are the tree color variations, I'm not that excited about it. Let's buy the base game. What else did we buy? What is this? Oh, that would, yeah, okay. Okay. End user licensing agreement. Awesome. Any like technical questions? I was answering some texts. While the Benny test goes, they include visuals. Why is that? Because 99% of the code of the game is visuals. So if you're not testing that, your game's not gonna work. Know what I'm talking about? Is the game using GetRect? It's using the GetRect as shipped with the compiler. We don't use it in the release version of the game. We use it in the editor. Let's not have spoilers. You were asking if I wrote all the gameplay code so far, or someone from the team also helped. I mean, it's a big game. A bunch of people have contributed. In terms of gameplay code, I probably wrote almost all of it, though. There's very small parts of it that I didn't write. How do you handle passing context through different parts of the game? That's just something that the programming language does. That's like an actual feature of our programming language. Is there something similar for looking at frame times? There is an interactive profiler called iProf that you'll find in modules. It works a little bit differently because the memory debugger displays to an external client, right? And iProf is more designed to display on the screen of your actual program, although we could make it, for ease of use, also display on an external client. It's just historically that wasn't how it worked. What percent of the code can you use for the next game? I mean, that's a hard to answer question because a lot of the code is very game specific, and I can't tell you right now what percentage is game specific. But a lot of the code, all the rendering code, can be used for the next game. All the core like entity serialization, all these things can be used for the next game. So yeah, I don't know. Okay. So we ran our Benny tests. So I bet if we go to this level, it's definitely got like a teleport error in it, probably. Maybe not. Oh no, because we returned. But the point is, this is the reason we get a fail here is because we changed the timing of things. Let me just play the level. See how I feel about it. Oops. Spoilers, everybody. Which way do I want to go? This way, right? Easy clap. This one I don't remember. So I might just re-record this one, honestly. But I want to play it to validate. So do I want this? I mean, I can go here and get this, but I could do that either way. How do I get to the next section? I need it to be down. So that's a mistake. I need that. Okay. Easy clap. I forget where I want this to be. Where do I want green beam? Oh, over there. Spoilers. Hey, all right. Well, that was fine. So let's re-record that, please. Nope. Making games is kind of fun. It's also an incredibly grueling amount of work that never ends. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. But it's fun to play the final thing. Oh, we almost fucked that up. All right. So now next time we go test this level, it'll succeed. It's just we had a change. So that's one reason we don't fail the build to that question that was asked, is because like that was a legitimate change in the gameplay code, and it changed timing in the level, which changed the level test. But the game is working correctly. It's just the level test is out of date. Okay, let's find our no check-ins. We left some errors in there. That's fine. So since it's Lazy Saturday, that might be the thing. Fix an error about zapping rovers at weird times. Okay, I want to go. This came out of the bug database. Resolve. Resolved in 57330. 57330. There's more stuff we could do. It is Saturday. But yeah, there's some more things that are high priority. Skipping Shores V3 has a thing. All right, we're going to turn into a gaming stream for a bit. I think. Gaming. What's this game called? Modulus. Okay. We delivered value to the rest of the team. And we might continue to deliver value to the rest of the team later tonight, but Right now, we're going to check out what else is going on in the games industry. Yeah, no, the game did not come out April 23rd. That's an interesting color because you would think that it would be ugly, but it's not. Dude, how many logos are you going to put up? At this point, I'm convinced it's not going to be a good game. And analytics. Like, guys, classic map, create. The name of your save can't, okay. Save. You could have named it save. Highly recommended Sol Sesto. We played Sol Sesto a long time ago, like the demo or something. To mass produce bots. All right. WASD, rotate, scroll, select the miner. Is that a miner? Is that a miner? Oh, in the toolbar. Press R to rotate. Place 4. Oh, these don't exist. Okay. Cool. At least this part is a little bit smoother than a lot of games do this. Furnace melts poly rock into cubes. Okay. Fiery furnace. Place conveyor belts. Do I just do no? Oh, one. Okay. Oh, it wants that. Place a cutter. Okay. Click on it to enter. Configure the cutter and cut the cube into 2 equal pieces. Select the slice interval. How do I... How do I translate? Oh, I see. When it said cut size, I thought it meant depth. But it means you just slice like this. Okay. Configure. Okay. First module has been pinned. It requires the assembler. So we're going to make a long thing. Going to make a long duck dong. Splitter. Okay. I mean, that seems kind of dumb. Click on building. Add what? I see. They're built into the building. Okay, we got a factory. Use the copy tool to copy and paste. Copy tool. Copy tool. So I guess you can indeed conveyor through, right? So these are going just through that guy, which is weird, but okay. Miner. Oh, I could have copied the mines and everything. Okay. Okay. Nope. How do I destroy the crane? This interface is weird, but okay. I don't want to see that. Okay. Why is it not? Oh shit, we need other. We need other Young's moduluses. Okay. Okay, we got to go here. We got to cut. Okay, and then that's why they put all this space. Can I move this? Is E the move tool? Yeah. All right. So we're going to cut. And then we're going to assemble. We got it. Okay, we're going to assemble. Whoops. Assemble these into that. Or we could cut, assemble. I mean, that's probably better, right? Because then we don't need as much splitting and stuff. Wait. Why is it giving me a full cube here? Does cutter only do full cube? How am I supposed to solve the problem if cutter only does... What? Oh, this is only half a cube anyway. But yeah, like why is it giving me a cube as input? Like here it doesn't have a cube as input. Is it because I copied it? Let's try Xing that. Okay. It's because I copied it, I guess, which sucks. All right, so like that. Shut up. Oh, I guess we don't assemble here. Why is this thing? Okay, there we go. So our relative rates of production is not what this thing really wants. Use 2 cranes? Why? I mean, we're not producing it fast enough to need 2 cranes. I'll do it if they want. Oh, I blocked this one now. Great. All right. It feels pretty smooth to play, though. I'll give it that. Okay, buildings need a continuous influx. We can create a harvester pad. Okay. Other block is not getting brought in. I think it's because I already delivered enough to the building. Yeah. See, we need a lot more of these. And I guess you fill both of them up, right? So ideally, I mean, there's 8, so you can't quite split the production correctly. Although, wait, these are only half a cube, so I guess the rates are actually equal, right? I don't know. Okay. The bot assembly, the second building. Bot Scrapper. Furnace. Miner. Tunnel. Oh, tunnel. Bot assembly. Do we have more mines? Do we have the Colorado School of Mines? So that is the same as this. I mean, I'm kind of bored. Do we keep playing? This game is pretty polished in a certain way, but it just doesn't. I don't feel like I'm going to be solving real problems. So it feels so far, and maybe it gets better, but it feels so far like all these programming games for non-programmers where like I'm not going to be solving real problems. I'm just doing steps. I'm doing homework assignments. Of course, it is natural for a tutorial to feel that way. This is like Tomodachi Life. I don't even know what that is. Is that like a Neopets? Might just be the tutorial. Yeah, it's just I am a little bit tired today. Like we took a nap already. And we averted a presidential assassination already. I kind of feel like I would rather just go program and continue to work on our game than play this. That's how I feel. Know what I'm talking about? We might boot it up again. I'm not saying that I know the game isn't fun. It's just it's weird because it feels very slick. And then I look at what it's having me do and I'm completely unexcited. So yeah, but maybe that's my issue. Maybe it'll be good. Okay. Let's go back to programming. We played a game for a little bit. And now we're back. Sounds like Shapes 2. I mean, I tried playing Shapes 2. I don't even think I played Shapes 2 as long as we just played that. Like, it was... Shapes 2 was rough, dude. I think I played it for like 30 seconds. All right, so let's see what are our unhandleds. Unhandled conflict, controller proc. That's literally the only one. Okay. So if we teleport someone in a controller proc, I think we just call it conflict. That's literally the only one in the whole game. So we're going to say leave it a conflict and the normal mechanisms will have to sort it out. Okay. Okay. Continue. So then this down here, I could put an error here. Log error sus conflict resolve. Please investigate. C is whatever. Okay. Okay. Let's just do another full game Benny test, and we're just gonna see if that fires. Secret Service looked pretty slow. I have not seen any video. I don't know if I want to see any more video. I kind of feel like I mean, how many? It's been like 6 assassination attempts at this point. Like, how many is enough? How many is enough? Are all the canceled when pushed rate things about animating conflicting entities? Yeah, I mean it's sort of yeah. Yeah. It's cosmetic stuff to help make it look better, is the summary. Do I save the time that it took to test? We don't really save it anywhere, no. What is going on with my keyboard? Oh, I just realized I left the sound off the whole time we were playing that game. The sound was not that spicy, honestly. All right, we'll do it cards. We should be able to do it cards while that's testing. Oh, wait. We got some sus moves already, so we'll let that go for a while. We might not need it to let it go all the way through. Sus moves. That's the new name of the game. The game is called Sus Moves. I mean, we basically want to do this and then Queen, Jack, 10, 9, 6, 5, blue queen, right? And then this guy. And then we got this 6, 5. I think 6, 5 is the new 6, 7. That's what we're seeing here. 6, 5, 9, 4, 3, 9, 10, Jack, 10, 9, pop to 2. King, queen. I don't know. That seems like a good start. But we only got 2 cards off. But we got a lot of sorting. I don't know what to do next though. We kind of need this 0 here. Because we have a lot of these low 1, 2, 3, 4 Arcana, right? But we can't quite get it. Can you guys hear the game going off in the microphone? Do you render every single frame? No, we skip frames. Why is everybody so obsessed with speeding up the test? Like, yes, it would be nice for it to be instant. Do you guys not understand that almost every problem and crash is in the graphics? Do you guys understand that? The gameplay code is not very crashy. Graphics is way more complicated and difficult. If you are not testing the graphics, you're not really testing. Now, it is true that at a time such as now, I don't actually care about graphics because we just tested it. And it's like, let's just get these log messages in and stuff, right? But how do you know that your code to render the game is really doing everything the same? Or your code to gameplay code the game? Like, that's a whole thing you get to debug and validate. And B, we just don't do this often enough for it to matter. So yes, it takes a little bit of time right now that we're just waiting for the test. Honestly, though, we've got enough. We've got half the thing. Like, this just doesn't happen often enough to matter, guys. And it just fucking drives me nuts, though, because everybody asks me about it every fucking time. Like, oh my God. All right, we did a YOLO. We might have just lost the game because I'm so annoyed by the questions. All right, so like, I wish I could run a test without somebody asking me that, is how often it gets asked. Sorry, I don't mean to overreact to that one question. It's just like, literally, I've answered that so many times that I'm tired of it. And yes, it's the nature of Twitch that you don't know that I've answered that 25 million bajillion quadrillion times. But sometimes I wish people would just give me the benefit of the doubt that I know how to make video games. All right. This is a little bit of an extra YOLO, but we can recover this by doing that. So now we have 7. So to bring this around to a positive note that actually is helpful, maybe the thing to always understand about video games is they're almost impossible to make, especially if they're ambitious. So making a game is all about picking your battles. It's all about deciding where do you put your effort and where do you not put your effort, right? And so it's a very deliberate choice that I'm not putting my effort into optimizing the time that tests run, because A, it's not really a problem, and B, let's say you make it faster. That's not free. It's not free because you've raised the complexity of the situation that you're dealing with every day, because now there's like an extra mode that tests run in, and that has to be maintained for the lifetime of the game. People who run tests need to understand it's one more thing, right? And like, games drown you in one more things. If you don't watch it, the one more things will fucking kill you, all right? And if you want to learn how to make video games, I cannot overestimate the importance of that statement. Like, it is what you are constantly fighting with. Constantly. What was the last game I was blown away, whether it be scale, graphics, gameplay, etc.? I mean, blown away is a strong phrase. I don't know. I mean, I really enjoyed Shogun Showdown. That was 2 years ago. There might have been something since then. I don't know. Yeah, I might have lost due to the YOLO here. I mean, we can do queen through 8 under this 7, 6, 5, but we need to get back to one slot if we do that. And oh, we can here. Okay, never mind. This works. This is actually kind of a crazy YOLO here. So now are we dead? Is the question. Can we do something? So can we do anything? I kind of not seeing moves. Kind of not seeing moves. Think I threw the game. This one was not easy though, so unless I missed something obvious, which I could have because we were chatting. Has a game ever moved you like a book, movie, song has? Of course, but not in a long time. Okay, we have finished. We probably got a lot of sus moves. Let's just look at a few to see what they look like. Sus conflict resolve. Move type is teleport. ID yours. It's hard to parse out the ID theirs is 90. Okay, wait. So we have this ID yours is equal to ID theirs. So what? Oh, it's probably this. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I don't think that should be a resolve down there. So I'm going to do yet another Benny test where I just disable that completely, and we're going to see how many levels fail, and if one of them fails. Because, like, this code is just, this is a big block. It's a big block. And, oh, you know, it's this, though. Wait, it's this that I did intentionally. Move info theirs is falling. Yeah. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I forgot to do this before running the Benny test. So we're just going to run it again. We're going to recompile. We're going to run it again. Is Vostok still in the queue? It is. We might try that tonight. You know? You know, is it... It's very weird now. Like, the game industry, it's so hard to have a game. Like, I heard about Vostok for one day, right? And I hope people are still buying it and stuff, but I literally heard like, oh, this is a cool game, people, for one day. One time on one day, right? So I just hope it's getting enough attention for how good it is, if it's good, and all that. That's all. That's all. Whatever happened to Arena Breakout? I mean, okay. And again. So, how was the White House Correspondents' Dinner? So that I heard that they went and continued it, which I think is the right choice because you can't let those people win. But like, it's traditionally a big funny comedy show, right? They canceled it. Okay. Cuz it's like, how do you have a big funny comedy show when that just happened? Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. How did someone get a gun in there? The Southern Poverty Law Center helped them get it in. So I'm seeing this 98765. That doesn't necessarily help us a ton, but it does help us. And then we can put the Jack 10 on the Queen, the 6 on the 5, the 9 on the 10. And so we come out even. I think this is like a little bit of a YOLO, but not really. Hopefully. Hopefully. 6 on the 5. Okay, good. Boom. 4, 5, 6, 7. Put the 8. Okay, and then we can bring this either way. I think we pretty much unambiguously don't want the king. Well, no, because we could put king on the queen. That's actually useful in 10, 11. Let's do that. That might not have been the right move, but it might have been the right move. We could swap Rooney this. Oh, that just goes. Okay. Could do this one. Could do this one. We could do this one. 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 I mean, we won, kind of. All right. Cool. How we doing on the thing? Dude, we're only halfway through. I don't see any susses. We've got some other stuff going on, but those are all things that we want to do before we're done. Have I watched any speedrun? I saw some Witness speedruns back in the day. Who knows if people will do speedruns of this game? I assume someone will. Who knows? I usually ignore when I see a king, it's usually a bummer, but we have a queen here, so we could think about that. 20 on the 19, 2 pops. 3 is down here, so that's pretty good. If we put queen, then red 7, we get blue 2. So we have sort of a blue 2 or red 2 situation. Although, honestly, we get both actually because this is independent of that. So we'll do this. Okay. Used to speedrun Steven Sausage Roll. I don't feel like. I mean, I know there's going to be lots of conspiracy theories about on both sides about how it's a setup and all that, right? But like the White House Correspondents' Dinner seems like the worst possible place to try to assassinate the president of the United States. Like, you just wouldn't do that if you were a sane person. You know what I mean? Like, even if it were a setup, you wouldn't set it up there because that's never going to work, right? They're not sending their best. Yeah. Yeah. I would like to be back in an environment where people are not trying to kill the president all the time. I would appreciate that. That would be my preferred version of world events. I realize that's a controversial statement if you're on Blue Sky. Okay. If you're a Hassan viewer, but like, I mean, I am pretty sure it's a world record at this point. Like, it's got to be, right? Okay, we don't have more fails, so that's good news. Okay, swap Rooney. I think it's done. Yeah. Do I think a more charismatic president with exactly the same policies would be significantly less dividing? Okay, so here's what I would say is that Trump 2016 was obviously incredibly divisive. That was just his rhetorical tactic, and he certainly fueled a bunch of that, right? But like now, I mean, yeah, he like tweets on truth, whatever, but the divisiveness is manufactured, not really by him anymore, right? It's all coming from somewhere else, like to an insane degree. Like forget Trump for a second. Why were people burning down Tesla dealerships and bombing Teslas because Elon was doing Doge? You can't say that's because Trump's divisive. That just doesn't make any sense, right? It's a different poisonous element that has entered American politics that maybe was there in the distant past. Like in the 60s and 70s, there were a bunch of riots and stuff and all sorts of things. Maybe we're just renormalizing to that kind of a time, but it's like, that's not Trump at that point. You can't blame it on Trump at that point. Trump is the most charismatic president. I mean, I think it varies. So he is he definitely has something going sometimes when he gives speeches. But other times, when he's doing his thing where he inserts the lines between every other line of the speech to make it more authentic because he's saying it. And it just, at some point, even that's a little much for me. Like, but point, I mean, opinions will differ about whether he's charismatic or not, obviously, right? But like, whether he's charismatic or not is no excuse for murdering someone. It's simply not. And like the fact that this is still entertained like by the mainstream news media, they kind of shut up about it for a while, but they're kind of back there now because it's been a little bit. It's like so reprehensible. I'm just gonna YOLO this for a second. Oh, I might have done something real bad there. Okay, we got it. We got it. All right. But yeah, like I said, in the 60s and 70s, this was kind of normal. But we had all kinds of people shot back then who you would have really preferred not to get shot. Martin Luther King, John Lennon, right? Like it was insane, dude. We don't want to go back there. We don't want to go beyond there. Like it could always be a lot worse than that, right? And people who are toying with that, I don't either they don't understand what they're doing or they do understand what they're doing. It's honestly impressive to blame everything on Trump. But that's already what a certain category of people do anyway. Like, right? So, oh, it's not that communism doesn't work, it's that capitalism foiled communism and didn't let it work every time. Like, that's just the way those thought processes go, right? Yeah, it's not that Venezuela was run badly, it's that the USA put sanctions on Venezuela. That's why it didn't work. And it's just all right. So let's go look at the logs. Do we have any sus? We have no sus. Okay, so that means leave this conflict, but perhaps nobody can fall through to down. Okay, that's good. That's good. We not only solved the bug, but we made some relatively sus code better. Make some relatively sus code better. And we could look at another bug filing. Yeah, JFK, RFK, Huey Long. I mean, there's so many. Like, we we don't want to be living in that era, political violence wise. We just don't. It's not good for anyone. Imperialistic capitalism is not the same as fluffy, peaceful capitalism. Oh, so I guess the People's Republic of China is not imperialistic. I guess North Korea is not imperialistic. I would name some other communist nations, but no other communist nations exist anymore because they all fell apart. All right. I mean, I guess Cuba, but whatever. What? If you're going to use Cuba, like, is it imperialistic if you don't let your people leave? If you like hunt them down when they try to leave? Like, this accusation of imperialism is hilarious. Like, we just have to laugh when people try to say this. You just can't take it seriously anymore. Like, we've entertained it with like argumentation for too long. Like, you just have to laugh at some point because it's done too much damage, and you just have to. It just has to be treated like flat Earth or something like that, you know? I'm pretty hungry, but I don't want to make fried rice. Vietnam is communist nation. Maybe. I mean, they sure seem to sell a lot of stuff now, is all I'm saying. But I'm not actually familiar. I have not been to Vietnam. I've been to a bunch of countries in the neighborhood. I've been to Cambodia. I've been to Thailand, of course, a few times. Uh, but I've not been to Vietnam. Interesting. Other first world English speaking nations don't have the same problem, e.g., UK, Australia. We didn't have that problem when Biden was in office, you'll notice, right? So it's merely about who's in office and what kind of behavior is publicly encouraged but institutionally toward whoever's in office, right? What made me want to go to Cambodia? Because Angkor Wat is in Cambodia. Cambodia was all right. Like, it was pretty chill. Um, I mean, it was actually very hot when we went to see Angkor Wat. It was like brutally hot, but it was chill. I mean, it's really interesting where you you get the vibe when you go to countries, right? And Cambodia, it has its own vibe, and it's not what I would expect, what I would have expected, you know? If I were going to move to Asia, where would I go? Singapore. Singapore, without a doubt. Not even close. Taipei is nice, but uh, you know, there's not really that much English there, so you would have to learn Chinese, and that's a process. And there's the whole geopolitical angle of what's going to happen there. So, which long term is probably also true for Singapore, honestly, but Singapore is much further out, let's say. You're from Taipei originally. Taipei is really nice. It's a really nice city. I liked it. Um, except, I mean, I don't know if this is a class thing or whatever, but there's like a fraction of people who are like super not hygienic, right? And like if you're in a restaurant and someone is being very not hygienic, it's kind of gross. But that was a rare occurrence. For the most part, it's a really lovely city. I would go back. I only spent a few days there. Coming from an engineering college, you feel like you'd get used to it. It's been a long time since I was in school. And it was never that bad. Something about Berkeley, like people took showers at Berkeley and stuff. Okay. Um, but yeah, I like Taipei. Taipei's cool. Do I have any plans for speaking engagements after the game is released? I don't know. I mean, I went on record recently as saying it's more likely that I would do something like that after the game is released than now. Like now, we've just got to get the game done, right? And as I said, it makes more sense for people after the game comes out because they can play what I've been working on, and then they can look at it and say, "Oh, I get what you're saying," because of how this thing is that you're working on. Um, but like, will I be in the mood to do that? I don't know. Honestly, I kind of just want a big vacation at some point soon. So we'll just see how it feels. Okay. So let's at least start working on something. I might want to go to bed. No, not really bed, but it's Saturday night. I might want to chill, but we've got some things. Okay. Skipping, possible to get two skipping stones to occupy the same space in Skipping Shores V3. Let's take a look at that. Uh-oh, I closed VLC. It's going to take 30 seconds to play this video. Dude. VLC. Skipping Shores V3. So we're going to at least... So it'll be forward progress to just reproduce this in a little mini level, right? So proceed south to... Oh, this is new. Yeah. 4, 5, 6. The last screen of the level. Okay, VLC decided to run. Wait, what? Oh, I see. Okay, it's not... Yeah. This is a pretty simple, but it's not as scary of a bug as I thought. This is like one of these things where I think we're gonna need a gameplay code hack. All right, but it'll be easy to repro. We don't need this. We can go to, did we call it recent bugs? Recent bugs. Nope. Wrong paste. Recent bugs. Okay. Do the test record videos? No, this was manually reported. Because this wasn't even something that would log as a failure. This is just a tester noticed behavior in the game that he did not think was valid, and he was right about that. This might be enough. So, with the right timing, stones, whoops. Stones might be too fast on this level. Let's see. Yeah, see that? So like we sank one stone against another stone, and that's, if that happens, this first stone should have sunk next to it, basically. And it didn't, because it was like probably still being pushed or something. So let's see. Skip, 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 skip. We close the push. So we're pushing the rock from -3, 15. Oh, the camera's sideways. I hate that. To -3, 14. Wait. Why are we at z equals -3? Like, none of this is what I want. Or, no, that's x equals -3. Never mind. Sorry. I mean, we can look at, so this is -3, 15, -3, 16. So this thing sinks in -3, 17, right? So yeah, so this linear interpolation is the rock falling into the water. And it's listed twice because this is the close, this is the commit. So when we do this linear interpolation, yeah, this is still being pushed. But before we skip it, so like we maybe need to flag that rock or some shit. And there's no such flag. No such flag yet. The way this works is when you start pushing something, this happens for any push. You know, it starts, you're in, it's in this, it's pushed just like a non-skipping rock. And then at some point, it gets broken into its own transaction. There you go. And it's turned into a skip, right? And that happens, I guess, when it reaches the target square now. When the transaction completes. So that probably didn't used to be the case. It probably used to only happen when you cross the midline, which would have meant this was still possible. It was just harder to do. And so I guess we made it easier to do. Someone changed the skipping particles. They look better now. I mean, they're still a little weird. But okay, they're still a little better. Okay, so when we do this, like, break skipping stones into no, I thought it was called separate transaction, separate trans. No, that's teleports. Skipping stones into skipping get non-empty, add empty skipping, setup. Make skipping. Let's just look in here. I'm hungry. I want like a pizza. I've been training a lot more. I've been going back and doing more kung fu training. And my metabolism is higher. And that's good. Unison Wardrobes was a test debug level. Yeah, what happens is generally I use some random level name for a while, but then I'll set up a repro case in that level and email it to someone, and then it's like, well, they're kind of looking at it now, so I don't want to change it. Here we go. So okay, we have flags here. I was going to say we might need flags. So we can set, as soon as we decide to sync, we can set properties on the rock. We can say, this is going to be really annoying. There's all sorts of things going on. If we put on the rock a flag that says sync immediately instead of skipping, we can set that. Sync immediately instead of skipping due to collision with another skipping stone. All right. This is how you make sure people know what your flags mean. It's not F_foo. So we can do that. we'll put a little explainer note. The problem is we need to know when to set this on the rock, and we can't just set it because we only should set it when the transaction is committed, which it might not be when we decide to start, like the gameplay code that says, hey, we're going to decide to start syncing, doesn't know if the transaction will be committed. That's like the whole thing about this whole game. It's a giant pain in the ass, but it's how we make sure that puzzles are not broken. So what I have to do, I have to put a thing on the skipping stone that says sync due to this manipulator ID, and set the manipulator ID. And when we then commit the transaction, we have a thing where we iterate through all the things and say, what do we need to do because of this? And we can look at that flag, and then we can set this flag. So what I could do, if we have flags left in the move transaction, single move. Oh my God. Look at all the flags. Is this 64-bit or is it? Yeah, it's 64-bit. So it looks like we're out, but we're not. We're going to call this flag set the flag on our manipulator ID. Okay. Okay. All right. Everybody following? We don't have to be that ridiculous. We could do that. We could do that. We could do that. All right, I'm going to grab some food and then we will continue. We're going to do Cowabunga oriented programming, where we do the following. Like I said, in the close is when we do this. String is or S T print Cowabunga whatever single dot manipulator ID. Do we just have that? Game report S. Okay, so Cowabunga oriented programming and manipulator ID. Yeah. Okay, so we have that. So we don't want to see Cowabunga 0, etc. This won't do anything yet because we're not setting either of these flags. Oh, we don't want optimized build. Other rock is find type manager rock single dot manipulator ID if other rock and if other rock dot skippable else. Okay, other rock dot properties or equals this. Game report gnarly dude. Okay. Log error, unable to find the appropriate rock for set the sink immediately flag. Okay. I always get I have two functions like this that are similar in what takes arguments in one order and the other takes arguments in the other order. If other rock.skippable, yes. This is now properties and .skippable. Okay, so now though, start skipping, stop skipping. We want to clear this. Let's just look to see if we clear that anywhere else. No, it's getting cleared in move transaction. Probably because another... Okay, that's makes sense. I guess that makes sense. All right, so fine. Fine. Okay. Okay, so we still need to set this flag. We'll put the explain here. I don't like to put big explanations in the whatever. So we need to set this flag in the appropriate situation. Yes. And then we'll get the cowabunga. And then once we get the gnarly dude, we need to look for this flag and sync. So none of this is theoretically rocket science, but some stuff could go wrong. How do you find playtesters? I mean, dude, everybody likes to playtest games. Who doesn't like to play an unreleased game? Yeah, it's not hard to find playtesters. It's never been hard to find playtesters. You and your cracked colleague want to start a project. What do you recommend? Okay, A, you're using the word cracked wrong. So that doesn't bode well for your attention to detail. B, usually when people are good, they're excited about specific things. So I would recommend picking one of the things that you and he are excited about and doing that. If you're not excited about anything, then I a little bit question whether your skills have been tested enough to know if you're good. Because if you know you're good, it's because you've done challenging things. And usually when you do challenging things, it's because you were interested in those things. Or you were better, even if it's like an assignment in school, you were better at that than other people. So I don't know. I mean, it's a very weird thing to me to be asking for ideas in that kind of scenario. You worked for a company and brought it to over 100 million R. That's a pirate ship company? You have direction, but ideas are... okay. So you're asking for like bullshit SaaS ideas or something. I'm not interested in any of that. If you want to make a video game, I'm the guy to talk to. If you want to do bullshit SaaS, go talk to David Sachs. I mean, SaaS is all crashing now because everybody thinks AI will replace it. Which might mean it's the time to start a SaaS company, actually. Or it might mean it's time to start a bullshit AI company like everyone else. But you're probably about 2 years late to do that, right? Does anyone have that URL? No, dude. That's your company. I mean, honestly, the name's probably registered. It's just there's no site. Imagine Elon asking people what he should work on. True. True. What food should you eat? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Whoops. Should sync. Okay. So we're going to set the single move. If info dot this thing, instead of if, we're going to say ID is info dot this thing. If ID Single dot manipulator ID equals ID single dot this is going to be a heinous amount of if statements just for one. This is how games become toward the end. Is you're like, this one thing doesn't work right. I need to make it work in this whole other system. And you just make it work. Okay. All right. Maybe this will work. Oh, no, because we don't set this. So it certainly won't work yet. So should sync equals true. We sync that here. That's if there's a mirror. We don't care about that. Okay. If info.pushes where's push info? That's in like, so push info should have the rock, but we need to do some filtering on it. It's going to be hard to get to this cowabunga maybe because one of these might go wrong. So push info. Oh, we have the entity. Other info that pushes 0. Sync immediately stuff. If other dot entity type is equal to rock, other rock is down other rock. If other rock dot skippable in single is in move transaction other rock. Why did that do that? If in single and in single dot flags and start skipping, then info dot stone is blah, 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 other rock dot entity ID. So we're gonna game report cow question mark, like a timid half cowabunga, right? Okay. Entity type is equal to rock, like that. Oh, push info. Other is info dot pushes 0 dot entity. Other rock dot properties. I changed this. Dot skippable. Okay. Can we get a cowabunga? Okay. Hey, we got all of them. Did you see that? We one-shot it. All right. Cowa can go away. Set the sync immediately. Okay. The gnarly dude. Okay, this cowabunga. Wait, did we get the entity ID? Yes. Okay. Is it the right entity ID? 6211. 6211. All right. So this cowabunga has done its job. We need to explain all of these things, so as I don't forget, I'm going to list them out. Like, it's a ridiculous amount of programming to make one thing happen that only can rarely happen. This can happen in like a small number of levels in the game. This is just how it is to make a high quality game. Whenever you play a shitty game that's broken, it's because they didn't do this stuff. What is this one called? Info, skip info. So we need to document that all these things are related. Okay. We got our gnarly dude. We're going to move our cowabunga now. When we go here, if it's skipping, start. Wait. Should sync, but we don't say should start skipping. I guess that's just. So where do we set this? Start skip turning while inside. While inside. While inside. Start skipping. Oh, maybe this doesn't happen here. Maybe it's here. Oh yeah, it's here. We were looking at this. All right. So if rock.properties and this is going to be our new cowabunga. Right? But wait. Not really. This just puts it in the skipping transaction, actually. So this is not where we want this. That's fine. That part is fine. It's the actual skip. All skips. Where do we can go? Where's our can go? There it is. If this info.can is false, can.can is false. Let's just see what. All right. All right. Capital Cowabunga is the goal. Hey, look. Look. It landed in the water next to each other. This was the goal the whole time. All that just for this. That was not the case. Because in that, see, if you do it earlier, it's already skipping, right? And then they land. So what we're trying to do is just this special case where it's not skipping, where it's still in the player transaction. And could we have done that differently? Maybe. I don't know, dude. All right, so now I think I want to do a Benny test to see if we broke anything. And if we did not, I mean, ideally we would like a better animation for this, right? Like you would kind of like it to bounce off or whatever. But like, dude, we just gotta finish the game first before we think about that. Okay. Okay, release build. What does cowabunga mean? Look, you can't. So there are certain kinds of knowledge that separate the beginner noob grammar from the experienced programmer. Okay. One of them is just, do you get fascinated by the JavaScript framework of the week, or do you realize that these all don't do anything? One of them is, can you tell that AI's output code quality is quite poor in 2026? And one of them is, do you understand cowabunga oriented programming? And if you don't, that's just a skill level. It's like a ceiling that you're hitting. You're not able to progress because you do not understand cowabunga oriented programming. Yeah, Ocean Man is like an introductory element of that progression. It's true. How many messages fit in game report? As many as you want. They just scroll up the screen. So if you print too many, you just won't be able to see them all. Do you plan on supporting community creation such as custom maps? I mean, initially, we're just trying to get the game done. Initially, we're just trying to launch the game in a place where people could play and enjoy it. And then we will look at to what degree does stuff like that make sense. Right? It's been a huge game that we've been working on forever, and you just, in video games, you have to respect and a little bit fear the size of things, which, to be fair, I could have feared it more and we wouldn't have ended up doing a game that takes so long. But, the point remains. The point is underscored by the fact that this game took so long. And you just have to not add too much, right? So we're going to release the game, just the normal game, and we'll look at that kind of thing after. One day I hope to tell the stories about Tekla nearly dying. I mean, nearly dying, I think, is maybe a little too dramatic because, I mean, the thing is, as a someone who can both program and design, I am capable of making a whole game myself. So the company could, in the very worst, continue as just me if things got really bad, right? Um, and that's the benefit of being a designer programmer, or one of the many benefits of being a designer programmer. Um, but yeah, things were rough for sure. Like, and it's still a very rough period for the games industry as a whole. I think a lot of us know that, but um, a lot of companies have gone out of business the past couple years, and I mean, unfortunately, I hate to say it, but we're not probably done with that. I hope we're almost done. I hope we are almost done. But you never know. I mean, yeah. Yeah, I could have retired with $30 million. Um, that is that is an accurate description. But I just didn't want to. I just didn't want to. I wanted to make a game. I wanted to make a ambitious, challenging game. And sometimes we pay dearly for the things that we want to do, but the hope is that it's good for my soul to have been working this hard on this thing for so long, and so we're going to get the game done, release the game, we're going to release the programming language, right? So like all this stuff will come to fruition. I mean, privately, of course, a number of people have the programming language. It's 1,200 people in the beta right now. Um, I don't know how many of those are active. We don't track that, but there's 1,200 people in the beta, so it's not like nobody has it. Um, but I would expect actually that only a fraction of that is because, like, programming takes work, and people come along. They're like, I want to try the new language, and they try it out for a few weeks or whatever. Probably is usually what happens. I don't know. Anyway, it'll be nice to have a lot of this stuff happening. Over 900, yeah. It's over 900. Well, what do we do here? So, dude, I've been trying to follow all the Burnt Peanut Rust stuff, but it's like they're doing so much stuff so fast. Like they had some boat battle. They did a wipe, I guess, yesterday, and they had a boat. Was the boat battle post wipe or pre wipe? Like, I can't keep track. Rust is weird because on the one hand, it looks kind of fun in a lot of ways, but on the other hand, assaulting a base in that game just looks incredibly tedious. It's like you've got to have an entire team shooting rockets at the base for like an hour, and they can just fix it while you're rocketing it. Like it doesn't seem like what I would have designed. Let's put it that way. But it's been fun to drop in and watch it. Maybe add your game to the banners in your channel. Maybe. I haven't thought about the Twitch channel settings in a long time. Some of the choices in Rust are pretty funny, like the portable phones with like everybody having a number that you dial. I don't know. I kind of want to do a YOLO at this point. I'm not sure what to do, but I also don't see a good YOLO. I could do this 20 YOLO, 4 pops off. And gold 5 can go over. Oh, we can maybe. I don't know if we can sandwich, but we might be able to do that. And then 17. And I'm just going to do this one. I'm going to do this YOLO right here. Okay. So we want to put this on the. Well, I guess we could do. Well, now we're kind of fucked. I can't put this on there now. I could put this on there. So we could pop 3 and 3. Oh, we're fine. We're fine. We're fine. All right, that worked out. See, sometimes you just got a YOLO. You just got a YOLO. I think we're done with the Benny test. What do you guys think is the results? We got all the bad cards off. We're going to get our favorite. And there we go. 2192. We could just grind till 2200 tonight. All right. Hey, those are exactly what we expected. So we comment and we check it in. Okay. This happens in level. Skipping Shores V3. But also it could happen in other. It could happen in Skipping Pals even. Okay. All these flags and variables are here to deal with one specific case that happens when you have 2 skipping stones that have been pushed toward each other. When 2 skipping stones collide, they both sink into the neighboring squares. However, there's a race condition due to the way things are implemented. I don't necessarily know that there would have been a better implementation. When a stone is pushed for a while, it is a push move. In the player's transaction until that completes. Then it gets split off, skipping skippers to remove. Then it gets split off in and gets picked up by the normal skipping transaction because rock.properties and skipping is now true. Okay, if one skipping stone hits the stone that is still in the push move, the natural outcome is normally was previously that one stone skips, sinks, and the other starts skipping and skips onto the stone that sinks. This is not good. I was going to write this sucks because if sinks sucks, whatever. But no. Okay. So when the stone that is going to sink hits the push stone, we set the sink immediately flag. But there are several stages of indirection here due to the transaction-oriented nature of everything going on. We can't just set sink immediately on the stone when we hit it because our transaction might be reverted. Okay, that's enough of an explanation. All right, comment your code. Comment your code because games are full of stuff like this that is not commented and nobody has any idea what all of this is about. This problem can be, this situation can be easily reproduced on levels where two characters can push skip stones toward each other. For example, this is a good practice that I started, which is to always say, where can this happen? Because then it just helps people understand. All right. Fix a skipping stone behavior issue. I'll mark the bug on this other laptop where you can't see as resolved. And then when we get our source resolved revision, we will mark it. Recent bugs. Don't do that. Entities move transactions, skipping stones. All right. We'll just put the tag there. Boom. We'll check for another no check-in. All right. Cool. Well, we're gonna check this in, and I'm gonna have a lazy rest of my Saturday night. I don't know. Maybe I'll watch some burnt rust nut or something. 57334. I resolve. 57334 resolve. Boom. All right, great. Oh my God, there's so many bugs, but if we do 3 or 4 a day, it's not so bad. A lot of them are low priority. We got a lot of priority 3s. Wait, this one. Oh, no. This is a different one. This is a different one. Yeah. 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 Well, that's it for us tonight. Thanks for hanging out. I will send you to the world's renowned rocket scientist. Thank you, everybody. And we'll see you later. Thanks for hanging out while we made the game better. It's always good to make the game better.